That liberalism is a mental disorder is well known amongst those of us who are not mentally disordered. I've published it in a best-selling book. I've repeated it. It seems that the progressives have a problem with the idea of responsibility, both personal and social. It may not be a mental disorder, but it is a disorder. Joining us today with his views on this is Dr. Peter Breggin.
Yes, Michael. Today I want to talk about the dread word responsibility. Children and progressives often hate the word responsibility. Adults who are failing in their lives often detest the word as well. When we were children, taking responsibility may have sounded about as inviting as grabbing a porcupine by the tail or jumping up and down barefoot on a bed of tacks. Every time an adult was mad or disappointed, we may have heard, "Be responsible." Or worse, "That's irresponsible." Some of us never get over it. I've seen 40-year-old men wince at the sound of the word responsibility. Like a punch in the nose or a slap on the face. Be responsible. Smack. It harms people psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually to view responsibility as a punishment imposed on us from the outside. Responsibility becomes something someone else wants you to do against your will and probably against your best interest. Too many adults resent the idea of taking responsibility, and that resentment becomes ruinous to their lives. Because the word is so emotionally charged, I've tried to find less painful synonyms. Maybe autonomy, but that's a word for philosophers, not ordinary folks. Maybe self-sufficiency, but that's about something specific, providing for our own needs. Maybe independence, but that's more the result of taking responsibility. There really isn't another word to substitute for the dread word, responsibility.
Well, what does responsibility mean to you?
Responsibility to me means that you own what you do, and you do what you know is right. You never blame what you do on someone else or something else, because you recognize that you're the one who makes the choices about your own actions. It means that you and you alone make your own decisions and take your own actions, and that you always do your best to do what you know is right. Responsibility means feeling eager and glad to accept the consequences of your choices and your actions. In fact, for a successful life, taking responsibility has to appeal to you. You have to want it and to seize it. I believe that rationality and love are the twin guidelines for responsible living. Responsibility means acting on the basis of rational ethics in everything you do all the time and in every way. No exceptions, none at all. And then there's love. To me, the ultimate expression of a good life and the happiest life involves taking responsibility for becoming a source of love. Someone who takes joy in being aware of other people, creativity, nature, our national values, and God.
It sounds as though you believe responsibility is the key to understanding why progressivism won't work. They're just irresponsible. They're children.
Yes, I began by saying that progressives and children often hate the word responsibility. Progressives, statists, and extreme left-wingers dislike the word because it suggests that people are not entitled to good lives, that they instead have to work for them. It puts the onus or the burden on the individual. Responsibility is actually the dagger in the heart of progressives. That's because progressivism thrives on people feeling abused and victimized. Progressives and statists thrive on the idea that individuals cannot and should not take care of themselves. Being progressive too often means feeling sorry for and looking down on other people, rather than empowering them by defending their freedom, enlarging their choices and opportunities, and encouraging their sense of responsibility. From bailing out giant corporations to enforcing government health care, progressivism undermines responsibility. Our founders knew that freedom provides opportunity, and that after that it's up to individual Americans to make the most of it. The founders continually emphasized the direct relationship between taking responsibility and enjoying happiness. In 1783, at the close of the War of Independence, George Washington made clear that from now on, Americans would be responsible for their own happiness. He declared, "At this auspicious period, the United States came into existence as a nation, and if their citizens should not be completely free and happy, the fault will be entirely their own." That was a quote from George Washington. Embrace responsibility because it's the only way to make a happy life. Embrace responsibility because it's the only way to give to others and to the world as much as you can. Embrace responsibility because you will become more truly loving towards yourself, other people, nature, your country, God, and whatever and whomever else matters to you. This brings me again to the refrain of my weekly report, the primary principles. Protect freedom, take responsibility at all times, express gratitude for all your gifts and opportunities, become a source of love. You can listen to these reports and download the transcripts at Breggin.com. That's Breggin.com.